Hey loves, it's Ashley. Thank you so much for tuning in to my YouTube channel. It's all Ashley. So today we're going to be doing 6 straight back braids on my husband. So yeah, let's pretty much get started. What I'm doing here is I use his sides that he has cut down as my first guideline as to where I want to put the first braid and just match it up to the other side. I just keep going back in, making sure that that line is as straight as possible. Again, we're not going for perfection, we're just going for as a part as straight as possible. So you will see me go back in and just kind of edit the part a little bit, just to make sure it's straight, make sure I'm not making it too big. As you can see here, I kind of went back in because I didn't want the side braid to be that big. So yeah, right here I'm just doing a little bit of cleanup work, just making sure that I don't have any like loose hairs or crooked parts or anything into it. So now that I feel like I got a pretty good part here, I'm just going back to the back of his head just to make sure that it's nice and smooth, and then I just pull up the hair. It makes it a little bit easier, and I use my Shine Jam. I love this product, especially for his type of hair when it comes to braiding. I do like to apply a generous amount. I feel like if you use less, it does, if you don't use enough, that it keeps the hair looking kind of dry. So I do apply a generous amount. I'm a little heavy-handed anyways. And then also I just smooth it in, that way we don't have too much product in one area. I will let you know that with this product here, be careful to make sure that it is smoothed in, as it makes it harder to braid because the hair kind of clumps together. And then also for the beginning of the hair, like the roots for that first bit that I'm braiding here, be mindful about how much you're applying there, because if you apply too much, it makes it a little bit harder for you to create a neat part, because the hair kind of sticks to it, it kind of sticks together, it sticks down. So again, I do use a generous amount, but you just have to make sure it's smoothed in. And if you're more of a beginner with braiding, I will say probably less would be more, because again, it does kind of clump together, but I still love this product. I have used edge control, and I find that I feel like the hair gets a little dry, or it looks more dry. I like this product more so because of the jam makes it shiny. So yeah. Just braiding all the way down to the end, and then I'll just go in and put my rubber band. Now I'm getting ready for my next part. I take the his ponytail out that I made, and I just start my next guide. One thing that I do like to do is I like to start, depending on how many braids I'm doing, I like to do his sides, so pretty much from his temple to his ears. I like to get those braids in first, just to make sure it's even. I don't want to put that middle part like off to the side or make it crooked. I do want it to be in the middle, so it kind of helps out when you start with like the side of his head. And here I'll just split the hair down the middle and make sure that it's even. Apply a little bit of jam, well a lot of jam for me. Smooth it in a little bit. And once I'm done smoothing, I'll just get to braiding. And just to make sure that the product does not stick at all, I'll just go back to my other side that I put the product on first and just kind of brush all the hair up. That way it's nice and even, and none of it's laying down, or making sure nothing's like clumpy with product or anything. And of course I try to be gentle with his edges. And yeah, we just get to braid it straight back. then we just go over to the next side of his hair using the guideline that I used on the other side. And again, I'm just focusing on making sure that it is even to the other side, as even as I can get it, and that it is straight back. So that's my main focus here. And again, as you can see, his hair is cut short on the side, so that's how I'm using the guide to make sure that it's even. And once I feel like it's even, I just again pull it back up into a ponytail, apply the jam product to his hair. And once I'm done applying it through both sides of his hair, I'm just gonna smooth it out a little bit. And then I just take my comb, put it through the front of his hair to start my braid. And then when I'm making this braid here, I'm pretty much just using the other side of his head as my guide to start my braid. Making sure my part is straight all the way back. And then once I feel like it's even, I just pull up his hair just to make sure I don't pull any more that I don't want in the braid. Then once again, I just apply my jam product. We can get a nice clean braid, making sure we don't have any like flyaways or any just random hairs, and it also does put a lot of moisture into his hair. And we just smooth it out once I have it all there. And then I just lift up his hair, the side that I started with, just to make it smooth and to make sure that it's not gonna stick, and making sure I don't apply too much product to the beginning of the braid, because again, that product does stick and you want the front part to be as smooth as possible. And then we just do a braid straight back. Okay guys, so we have our two side parts done. So now we're just gonna focus on the middle two. I use his nose, the center of his nose, as my guide just to make sure that the middle part is in the middle. It is easier if you don't lift up your comb to keep it straight, but if you don't, you know, just focus on going straight back to make a divide between the two braids. And then you can go back in and clean it up, and just if there's any excess hair on one side, you can just remove it by kind of doing what I'm doing here. Just a little bit of cleanup work. But again, I feel like the middle braid is like the most important one, because you don't want it crooked at all. So that's pretty much just taking my time here to make sure that it's straight and even. And then when I feel like it is, I just apply my product. Again, that's my jam, and then I'll just smooth it out. And then we'll just get to braiding. We'll start the process here. And again, just make sure you don't put too much product on the beginning of the braid so it does not stick at all. Okay, so just to show you guys a little bit of a different view so you can see what I'm doing on the back of the hair. This is the other middle braid. This will make the sixth braid. I applied my jam product or whatever product you choose to use. Now I'm just smoothing it out, making sure everything's evenly distributed throughout the hair. And I'll just brush it through. Pull up that initial side, make sure that part's smooth and nothing's like stuck down, and then we just start the braiding process and just go straight back. And then make sure also whenever you get to the bottom of the braid around like the back of the head that you don't pull too much tension, because you don't want the hair to pull, but just make sure that you do still keep a good enough amount of tension to make sure that your braid doesn't come undone or anything. Alright, just brushing through here, just making sure everything's even, doing a little bit of cleanup, and there we go. We have it, 6 braids here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.